that impact that running involves can cause injury. Okay, often it'll just start with a niggling sort of pain around your ankle, knee, hip, sometimes back, can even be neck, and that's generally made worse because of the impact of running. We feel those pains more because there's the impact, the jolting, but the real cause of it is that we've allowed our muscles to get too tight, and therefore they started pulling on the joints, on their attachments, and that's what causes the pains. Now there are other reasons that people struggle to get into running or succeed with running. Motivation's obviously a big one. If we don't feel like we're achieving, getting anywhere by ourselves, then often we can fall out of love of running, or just it never really catches on. A lot of people will try and do the Couch to 5K and just really struggle with it, and most of the time a big part of that comes down to their pacing. Okay, so obviously when you're running with a group that has a set pace and hopefully a leader that keeps you at that set pace, they'll be holding you back in the first half of the run. If you've chosen the right group, then you'll be running at what you think is a really comfortable, easy speed, far easier than you'd ever do by yourself. But actually it's the right speed for you in order to survive the run and not end up hating it at the end. Whereas when we run by ourselves, often we start, we feel great, we think we're going at the correct speed, but it's actually too fast, and by halfway or at least 3/4 of the way in, we start to feel like we're just not actually made for running, and running's just a hard thing to do. Often a lot of people will go from running on a treadmill and being able to run for 20 minutes plus, but then they'll go outside and all of a sudden it's much harder. I found that a lot in the early days when we were setting up Cheltenham Running Club. I was talking to people who were running on treadmills and they said, "Oh no, I can't run outside, it's much too hard." I don't know what it is, maybe it's the impact of the ground or something. I'm just like, no, when you run outside, there's nothing telling you how fast you're going, so you run too fast. On a treadmill, you've learned to push in this number and it makes you go at the correct speed. Hopefully you've chosen the correct speed. Another reason that people struggle with running is low energy levels. Okay, we go to work during the day and hopefully we're eating okay, hopefully we're not having lunch and then not eating till the evening, which is very common. A lot of people aren't eating until they get home from work between lunch and dinner. Maybe they're having a coffee or something sugary at 3 o'clock. So when a lot of people have their slump during the day. So it's important to maintain your energy levels with good nutrition. Solutions. How can we make running something that you love doing and something that you want to do, for the rest of your life? In terms of preventing injuries, I've talked about the need to maintain length in your muscles. Okay, so stretching, rolling, massage, rolling, foam roller. Some of you may not have seen them before. It's basically, we need to keep your muscles supple. Okay, yoga is a great one. We've just started the yoga class. So hopefully you'll get a chance to do that at some stage. We need to learn to pace ourselves. If you're not running with the club, hopefully you've learned what pace group you're running with when you are going with the club, and then you can learn to pace yourself in your own time. We have GPS watches, which a decent but basic GPS watch from about £70 these days. They're just so worth the investment if you actually want to make running a long-term thing for you. There's no point saying, "Oh, I'll just test it out and I'll see if I like running and then I'll get it." You could do that, but if you're going to have to do a lot of running by yourself, then really you want to either borrow someone's or buy your own pretty quickly to make sure that you get used to running at the correct speeds. The whole injury thing, the best thing you can do if you find that there's a niggle that is making you think twice about going out for your runs, is to get assessed. Okay, we have a physio in club. Katie's fantastic, and the sooner that you can get assessed, so get your injury looked at, or even if it's just a niggle, the easier it's going to be for her to treat you, the less chance you're actually going to have to go back and see her again. I even suggest, if you don't have any problems but you're looking to get into running, which is a very abrasive sport, that you actually get an assessment done right off the bat. She'll posturally assess you. Okay, so check that you're not sat at your desk with your head forward, slouched, or that you're not locking your knees, from day to day, which probably a few of you are right now. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on during the day when we work that leads us to basically have bad posture, and Katie can help us identify that. But also she'll get you on a treadmill, video record your running, and tell you if there's anything which could be leading to, or which could potentially lead to injury in the future. As your distances go up, if you've got something going on with your technique, then over time it will eventually become a problem unless you address it. Strength work is another underutilized strategy for preventing injury. Obviously we have our Strength for Runners sessions on Wednesday nights, but ideally you're all doing a bit of strength work outside of that session as well. Each time your foot lands, the muscles through your legs, hips, back, all the muscles that stop you from collapsing in a heap are required to contract. Okay, the heavier you are, the harder they have to contract. The longer you run for, the more often they have to contract. Okay, if you're doing strength work which is requiring you to lower yourself carefully under load, so whether it's just your body weight or you are using some weights, it will improve your body's ability to land and catch your body weight. Okay, if you want to run faster, well, you push weights up, or you push your body weight up faster, and it'll improve your muscles' ability to contract and propel you forward while you run. Okay, so just more and more these days, runners are learning that they need to complement their running with some strength work. Now, we've mentioned that muscles tug on their attachments when they get too strong and too tight. So maintaining flexibility is huge. Okay, it's really important, and which is why Katie suggested that we get a yoga class going. So we've found Charlotte, and she's going to help us out every Monday night.